Rub your hand and place them on your eyes. And slowly come back to senses, masters. Thank you. Welcome to day 2. Today yesterday we learned about the basics of nature cure, and we understood the germs and the soil theory, which is basically the understanding that the body is responsible for the diseases and the germs are not responsible for the diseases, and all of that we learned yesterday. So this entire workshop is going to be a body-friendly workshop, a self-understanding workshop. It has nothing to do with blaming the external world or external influences. So today what we will be, so our major objective in this whole journey as a human being is to basically connect with our higher self, our own Purnatma, or getting to that soul state, right? So in the path to get there, there are obviously universe has provided us a lot of choices. So one of the choice that we know and we have been trained or we have been experienced is the plant-based path. And many of you who have come here have been probably leading the plant-based lifestyle for a long time or trying to lead it for a long time. And some of you are maybe just there, you want to go plant-based, but then you don't know how to go plant-based. You still have a lot of questions. And there are many people who are curious about what is this plant-based lifestyle. I want to know more about it. I'm open to it. And there are possibly some people who just want to hear. So whatever path you have chosen, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. But today I'm here to share what is the reason that we go plant-based and how it's going to help us on this journey to self-realization, and how it's one of the easiest path to get there, because we have nature on our side. When we have nature on our side and when we are aligned with nature, we will be able to get there faster. One of the spiritual laws says that we are constantly progressing on the spiritual journey. Law of constant progress. Out of the 10 spiritual laws, one of the laws says law of constant progress. So whether we know it or no, we are constantly progressing in the right direction. Then the other law says is law of hastening that progress. So when we choose Gudakesha as a part of our meditation practice, or when we use plant-based lifestyle as a part of our lifestyle, we are trying to hasten this process. So what is the meaning of hastening this process? We are speeding up the process of getting to the self-realization. Because what are those obstacles? It is basically our karmic patterns, it is our beliefs, it is our all of those things, that our vrittis, our vasanas, that are basically holding on to us, all those habits basically. So what we are here to do is enable a body, enable the conditions in the body, enable the conditions in the mind to be able to get over those things as soon as possible. Because ultimately, if we have to get to that state, it is only by experience we can get there. We cannot get that through any shortcut. Even whatever books we read, whatever meditations we do, meditation will give us the energy to be able to understand our environment, our lessons that we are getting through life. Books will also help us to understand the knowledge about how to apply the knowledge given in those books. So everything in the universe is just a prop for you to get to that experience, to help you practice whatever you are learning with the energy that the meditation is going to bring. Okay, so one of that lifestyle is plant-based lifestyle, because there is absolutely no there is only plants that are involved in this, whether it is eating, whether it is using, or anything for that matter. So let me just share my screen. Okay, so today we will understand the design of the body. What is the body? How is it designed? What is it made up of, and things like that? And what is it designed for? What kind of lifestyle? Why do we have to choose plant-based lifestyle? What are the benefits? What are dairy products? And then what are some of the spiritual reasons? Since we are all meditators, some of them are possibly new to meditation as well. So what are the spiritual reasons that we can go plant-based? And because we are saying that our major reason to go spiritual or meditate is basically self-realization, how can we actually improve that path? So very first thing that I wanted to help bring up here is, okay. So what are we designed to eat? So let's look at the structure of our body. When we look at our teeth is not like the carnivorous animals. It is basically flat. It is not meant to, let's say, put our jaws on some animal and then tear it. So it is all flat, right? So we will not be able to do anything like that. So we have a canine, but that canine is just short for biting. And then we have some molars, which are basically used for crushing, grinding all vegetables like carrot or apples or anything like that. But we are definitely not meant for tearing anything. So that is our teeth. It is like a cow's teeth, right? All flat. What about our jaws? Our jaws can move up and down, and it can move side to side. But the jaw of a carnivorous animal can only move up and down. There is no that particular movement is not there, because we have to have. If you have seen the cow eating its food, it does like this. Even we can do that. But the carnivorous animal does not have a jaw like that. It just bites into it, it tears, and then it chews. It just chews or it swallows, depending on the animal. Then what about the saliva? Our saliva is very alkaline in nature. Alkaline means pH value is greater than 7. As per the chemistry formula, it is greater than 7. So, but the saliva of any animal which is eating meat, it is acidic in nature. And then what about the tongue? It is not very rough. It is very smooth for fruits and vegetables eating, or something that is more plant-based. What about the chewing part? We cannot just gulp down some things. If you've seen little animals, or even pigeons and all of that, they just swallow. They don't grind their food. But then we are meant to grind our food, chew our food, make it into almost like a puree, and then drink it or swallow it. Because right from our in the digestive tract, only the tongue is like the mixie. There is nothing else in that path which is like the mixie. Whatever you send, if you have not swallowing, you might have seen little babies. They don't chew so much, right? So whatever they eat, whatever they've swallowed, you can see that in the potty. So something like that, even for us, if we don't chew properly, it will end up in the potty. So for the carnivorous animal, the acids are so strong inside their digestive tract that even if they don't chew properly, it basically melts. So that much is the acidic potential or potency inside their stomach. So like I said, the hydrochloric acid is very, very high. And the hydrochloric acid potency that we have is not very high. Just to digest some proteins and carbohydrates we have, but for them, it is very high protein digestion potential is there. And the intestines are very, very long. The intestines of our intestines are very long. For example, if you take a cow, it is 2 times long. If it is 2 meters, if the cow is 2 meters, 4 meters is just the intestine itself. So the longer the intestine, the longer it takes for that thing to move outside the body, which means it requires that body to be able to digest that food and absorb that food in stage by stage manner. But if you look at the digestive system of the carnivorous animal, it is very short. It is not as long as our herbivorous. So it is very short. It takes very less time to digest, and then it also sends that quickly because it cannot keep that meat in the body for a very long time. Also, if you look at the liver secretes something called the uricase to handle the uric acid. If you've heard many people having uric acid problems, gout problems, where there's a lot of accumulation in the leg region, pains and all will be there and all of that. It is because they are eating a lot of acidic food, which because whatever foods we eat, if they're acidic in nature, we will cover what are acidics and alkaline in one of the chapters, in one of the days. But understand that when we eat the foods that are not meant for our body, acids will be as a byproduct of that digestion. So since we are not meant to have it, so the body has to expel it outside, right? So if the body is not able to expel it outside properly, then what happens? It tends to accumulate it here and there. But in the case of a carnivorous animal, they have the liver produces something called the uricase, which will neutralize that, and then they'll be able to handle it. What about our hands? If you've seen our hands, we are not able to actually put our hand into an animal and then rip the animal like this, and then or even hold the animal like this, because we don't have such kind of claws. So when we became a human being, we had already decided that now is not the time to basically just be in the karmic cycle of life and death like an animal. We are now in this path as a human being. We have chosen this body to get out of the cycle. So when we are here to get out of the cycle, we cannot be again going back into the cycle by killing other animals and then going into that loop of karma. Now we have to focus on our own development, our own growth, and then in that there is absolutely no tearing, fleshing, ripping and all of those things, right? So that is why we don't have any such thing. We are on the top of the food chain. It means that we don't have to depend on any animal below us. We have everything possible which is given by plants for us to live our lifestyle. So that is why we have a short nail. We probably will pick fruits, and max we are probably able to remove the oranges and all of those things with our nails. So this is the kind of hands that we have. And in the past, of course, people started having a lot of non-veg and all of that, because over a period of time, it was they had to move from a stage by stage progressive stage to understand themselves, to understand creation. The soul wanted to understand creation. It wanted to get that experience. So before it moves towards self-realization, which is more of a oneness path, it has to understand what is duality. Otherwise, we will not be able to appreciate oneness unless you understand what is duality in its deepest sense. You should be able to master duality. To be able to master duality, you should be able to go through each and every experience of duality with that spirit. First of all, we may not be able to understand that spirit and all that. Over a period of time, as the knowledge grows, as the consciousness grows, because we are anyway growing, we are anyway moving forward, right? So we will be able to understand duality and all of those things. So here in this process, there is absolutely no dependency on any of these animals. In fact, even depending on animals for agriculture will eventually have to go off, because you cannot depend on other animals. But then today we may not be at the stage of not depending on those animals, because we are still thinking that rice and other things are our food. But ultimately, as the consciousness starts improving, you will understand that what is my true food, where I don't have to depend on anybody, where I don't have to depend on any animal. We can actually live with animals can co-live with us in this planet. So this kind of thinking will eventually come. But until we get there, we have to master duality. We'll have to understand what is life and experience life in its true spirit. Every single experience is very, very beautiful, because if that beauty is not understood, whether it is in sadness or joy or anything like that matter, then you will not be able to understand happiness also in its true joy. So everything is necessary. So coming back to this, urine also, the urine that we have is alkaline in nature, and the urine that the carnivorous animal has is acidic in nature. So when you take a child and then you keep some meat and you keep some cooked food, like let's say bisi bele baat or something like that, and then you keep one apple, and then you keep a child in front of these three foods, they will go to apple only, because our eyes are meant to see. First we eat with our eyes, and then we start to smell, the nose will smell it, then we will start chewing it and eating it and all that. So the food has to have that beautiful colors. That is why when you look at fruits and vegetables, they have beautiful colors. So these are some of the things that we have to remember. In nature, we are not meant, see, even for that matter, if you take non-vegetarians, they don't really run behind a chicken or a goat or something, and then they don't eat it directly, because they don't even like this. They don't even like to eat raw meat. But what they actually enjoy is majorly the masala that goes inside that collective food. See, if you see anything in isolation, for that matter, even when you take any meat dish, if you take away each and every ingredient, even one single ingredient you cannot eat on its own like food. To make, what we are doing is, to make all of these things edible, we are bringing together all the foods that are not our food. We are bringing it together, adding some salt, and then we are making it as edible, and which confuses the body a whole lot, because that is not at all natural in life. So whether it is cooked food, we'll have to bring a balance in everything that we eat. So all this balance aspects we will teach in the subsequent chapters. But what I'm saying is, let us understand the body and understand that we are not meant to have what we are having on a daily basis. If you can see the diseases in your own life, the problems in your own life, it is because if this is a center, if this is how we have to align with a nature, we have deviated from that alignment. So the longer, the farther is this deviation, so much more is the problem. So what nature cure tries to do is, it tries to shorten this gap. We are trying to teach you or share with you concepts or lifestyle changes, which is going to shorten this gap. So the shorter the gap between the ideal, the problems are also very less. Okay, we may not be able to get it to an ideal lifestyle, because there is no perfection on earth. It is always an imperfect. There is always imperfection, and the beauty is in the imperfection itself. So idea is to slowly get as close to nature as possible, so that we'll be able to manage this deviation with very, very little effort, or with very, very little, just by taking some rest or something, everything should just move out of the body. So like that, we should target our lifestyle. So this lifestyle is not to say I will prolong my death. And so death has nothing to do with anything with respect to health or anything. Death is pre-planned. When the soul has to move out, it will move out. We don't even have to worry about dying, but we have to worry about the quality of life as long as we live. Okay. So at any point in time, you should remember that when we become human beings, and when our path is more towards soul realization, self-realization, and all of those things, we have to consciously move towards not depending on any lower forms of bodies or animals, which to serve us for our pleasure or for our lives. Over time, we need to move. Since we are in a social setup, there may be so many things that we may be using, which may be having a dependency on animals. For example, agriculture still depends on animals. Transportation may depend on animals. So there are so many things. But then wherever we can definitely try to do it. And the first step towards that is stopping the foods that come from animals. And we have plenty of animals, plant-based sources. If you look at animals, maybe there are few animals that we eat on a daily basis. for example, fish or goat or this and that. But if you look at plant-based sources, we have so many fruits, we have so many vegetables, we have so many greens, right? We have so many varieties in the plants. So this is because the nature wants us to choose plants, and it has given us 5 beautiful senses to recognize and pick those things. So let's start using the strengths within us to live this lifestyle. So why do we have to choose plant-based lifestyle? And I am sharing what I know, what I have been given as wisdom by the higher sources. I am going to be sharing my experience only. Plants are grounded. Plants are very close to Mother Nature, and hence they are very highly vibrating in nature. What is vibration? Everything is made up of atoms, including the air that we breathe is also made up of atoms. So we are in a jam-packed universe with only atoms. And these atoms have electrons in them, and these electrons are constantly vibrating. So the higher the frequency of vibration, the lighter is the body. So if you look at the fruit, right, their vibration is very, very high. The frequency of vibration is very high, which means their subtle bodies are very, very highly vibrating, and hence they are lighter. They are called light bodies. But when we come to our human body, our body is not as light as a fruit, because we have grosser elements within us, and then the way we think, the amount of sadhana we have done, the amount of vibrations our atomic cells or cells, sorry, the atoms have in our body, it depends. So if you, for example, if you take Prabodh Master's vibration, it might be very, very very highly vibrating body, because he has done a lot of sadhana. But when it comes to people like us, we may not have done so much of sadhana, and hence we are grosser compared to him. So, but how do we get to that state? In his case, he has been constantly meditating to a very, very high level. But in many of our cases, we may not be able to spend, let's say, whole day sitting and meditating. Maybe we have some duties in the kitchen or something like that. And he's giving us techniques and tips to meditate, to do open eye meditation, or let's say to be in the kitchen and meditate for 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes. So all of these techniques are a bonus. But then on a daily basis, if we are continuing to eat grosser foods and heavier foods, which foods we have to depend on something or the other, right, to eat. So there also, if we are able to bring that efficiency and bring that vibration and focus on getting to a higher state of vibration, even when we eat food, that is like a beautiful bonus, right? It is what meditation and practices that he's teaching, plus all the foods that we are eating. So this is where the consciousness and awareness will come even more higher, because when you are eating a lot of gross foods, you may have all the knowledge, but to apply that knowledge in your daily application, you may not have so much of energy to apply. So if you are focusing on higher vibrating foods, you will be able to be very energetic, and your body will throw off all the diseases very, very quickly. You'll detox first. First, you'll be able to detox. Then the body becomes cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, and it becomes lighter and lighter. And obviously, the more lighter you become, it is very easy to get into meditative state, and you'll be able to practice and clean up all your conscience or antakaran. You'll be able to clean up that very, very quickly, because you are able to get to a level, the energy levels in your body will be high to apply the knowledge that has been coming to you in terms of awareness. So that is one. So another thing is, if you look at fruits, right, they are when you measure their vibrations, atomic vibrations, they are called 6,000, they lie between 6,500 angstroms to 10,000 angstroms. But we are in the range of some 4,000, 5,000 angstroms. So which means even if you take fruits which have pesticides in them, they are not organic, their vibration is even more higher compared to the vibration that we have. So many people can ask and say, oh, fruits and vegetables and all of those things, all these raw foods are very bad because they have all these things. So if you look at which food does not have pesticides these days? Everything, whether it is grains or whether it is fruits or vegetables, or everything has pesticides these days. So we'll have to see, it's okay, fine, there are pesticides. You just have to live with with pesticides. Or if you have more money, then invest in organic. There is absolutely your free will there. So even if there are pesticides, the fruits still have a lot of benefits when it comes to things. So anything in the plant-based lifestyle is much high vibrating compared to be human beings. So when you choose higher vibrating foods, what will happen is our cells and our atoms will start to pick up the momentum of these higher vibrating foods. These atoms, the lower vibrating atoms, will just start to pick up the momentum, which means if they are, let's say, vibrating at 6,500 and if we are in 5,000, slowly, their speed will start increasing. The frequency of their vibration will start increasing. And we will slowly get to that state, to 6,500. But in the process of getting from this lower to higher, as it starts increasing, what will happen? Body will start to release all the lower vibrating energy or toxins from inside. Yesterday, Asha was speaking about toxemia, right? Toxins in the body. So these are the toxins that we have constantly got them collected because of our thought process, because of our eating habits, because of our living habits, and all of that. So we will cover about that in detail, where all toxins get accumulated and all that. But we have now, let's say, got it accumulated. Now we have pains, we have diseases, we have a lot of excess weight around us, and then we may not be as agile, we may not be as energetic. All of these things are even not being joyful and happy is also a sign of toxemia, because when the gut is not very clean, over time the thoughts that are sent to the brain are also, the signals that are sent to the brain are also not very clean. They are not very aligned to nature. So that is where things go wrong. And these toxins, when you are slowly getting to that higher state of vibration, you will have a lot of eliminations. The lower energies will start to get out of your body through every single hole. That is called healing crisis. We will cover that also in detail in the subsequent chapters. So through every single hole, cold will come, cough will come, fevers will come, all of those things will come. When you meditate and go higher also, then also those things will happen. When you eat foods that are higher vibrating in nature also, the same things will happen. So it is very important to understand that you are bringing a plant-based lifestyle, that to a clean plant-based lifestyle, along with meditation, and combining this will give like a big change in your meditation sadhana. So even from a body perspective, right, our body, when the earth was evolving, before even this human body or animal bodies got created, plants were there and germs were there. So if plants first started, and then only germs, little germs came up, pathogens. They came together and their collective consciousness created human bodies. So even today, we have 99% of germs inside our body and only 1% of human cells. So when we eat some food or drink some thing, they will first eat and drink whatever we drink, and they will break it down into molecules, and those molecules will get into our bloodstream, and then all the cells will basically absorb the nutrition. So these germs inside our body, it's very important to maintain them. We have a symbiotic relationship. We have a give and take relationship. We provide shelter, or this body is providing them shelter, and then they are providing us health. So the more and more you invest in health, the better and better will the germs inside of the health of the germs inside your body will become better and better, and they will in turn make your your body better and better, disease free, and they will send cleaner signals to the brain, and then we will have a better mind body connection. So all of these things are very interconnected in our body. There is nothing like, oh, skin works separately, heart works separately, leg works separately, I'll go to this doctor, I'll go to that doctor. It doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, body is like a huge assembly line, where if one machine fails, or if one machine is not working properly, the entire output also will not be working properly. So if you have problem with one organ today, it is not that organ that is a problem. The entire body has a problem, and you are seeing that You are seeing the dust, you are seeing the toxins collected only in that organ, because the body is treating that as a dustbin, because of the weakness in that organ. So lots of such concepts are there. And to summarize here, it is very important to understand that in the nature has provided so all these seasons and all these beautiful fruits, vegetables, greens, and many things, colorful things. So, and in every single fruit, in every single vegetable, in every single green, whatever is necessary for the human body is already there. We don't have to take any kind of iron, vitamins, this, that, proteins, and all of those things. If you just eat the right foods and focus on detoxification and living a cleaner lifestyle, cleaner thought process, and all of that, your body will be in a very healthy condition. We will also deal with some of the fundamental aspects of what are the focus areas that you need to think through in the subsequent these things. So remember, friends, that it's not like one fruit is going to give you one benefit, or let's say one tulsi is going to give you benefit, or let's say ginger is going to give you benefit. So don't look at food helping you. When the body, yesterday, as per the soil and germ theory, you should understand that the body should be in the condition. For example, you may have heard about vitamin D and all of those things. So many people go, oh, I'm very deficient in vitamin D, so I'll go to the sun and I'll get the vitamin D. They will think like that. But then if you have not fixed the other aspects of your lifestyle and your body is still acidic in nature, your thought process is acidic in nature, you can sit in the sun for the whole day and your body may not make any vitamin D. It is the body that is manufacturing vitamin D. Sun is only an enabler. Sun is just a, what do you say, enabler of helping the body heal in many ways. It is an influencer. It is influencing the body to clean up. But sun itself is not manufacturing D inside your body. So you can sit in the sun for the whole day, but then if the machine itself is faulty, then D will not happen. So it is very important to understand that you may have the best Mercedes Benz, but if you're going on Indian roads or some roads which have potholes, there is no use of Mercedes Benz. You may as well sit in a Maruti 800. So like this only, you should first fix the body's conditions. If you think that external foods, external things have more benefit. So if I keep eating this and if I keep eating that, I'll get calcium, I'll get protein, I'll get this, vitamins, minerals. It is a wrong way of thinking. Rather, this is not a body aligned way of thinking. Okay, I will not say it's wrong. It's a stage of consciousness where you start believing that. But when you are aligned to the body, you should believe that the body is the best sophisticated instrument which is like created by the best of the creator. So it is flawless. There is no flaws at all in the body. But what we see as problems is because of our choices. We have not followed those things. So hence, so body works on the food does not work on the body. You may eat the best foods, but you may not get any benefit, because the body is not in a condition to break down that food and send it to the blood. You may not have the microbiomes inside your body or the germs inside your body to break it down properly. They may already be dead, or some of the germs may not be in a condition to break down at all. They may be suffering a lot. So there are lots of permutations and combinations for the body to be healthy. So for that to happen, it's better to always come back to that center. Try to come back to that center. And in that center, you are very aligned to nature. You're eating foods that are meant for you. All of those things. For example, fruits are very easy to digest. Vegetables are next easy to digest. Sprouts are next easy to digest. But if you look at fruit, you can eat fruit the whole day and you can live your life. You can't eat vegetables the whole day. Maybe some extent you can eat. After that, your teeth will become tired. Sprouts, you can't eat the whole day, because after eating for some more time, there'll be a lot of gas inside your body. You'll probably be farting and all of that. So nuts also, you can't eat the whole day like food. Seeds and grain also, you can't eat the whole day. So like this, as we start deviating, we'll have to come back to eating what the body wants more. If the body wants fruits and vegetables more, you should bring fruits and vegetables more. Hey, I want the body to be healthy. I'll give the body more of what it needs. And if I'm eating something, if I want to eat seeds and grains and all of that, I will eat one portion of it because I'm eating it only for my pleasure. I'm eating, let's say, a tomato bath or bisibele bath or something like that for my pleasure. There is no benefit that the body is getting from it. I'm eating it because my mother, there are some memories that I have along with it. So I'm eating it for the memory only. I'm not eating it for anything else. So if you want your body to be healthy, you need to give the body what it wants for its efficient functioning. Then everything will be fixed. So here, one more aspect that we'll have to think through is dairy products. So dairy products, what are dairy products? Dairy means anything that is coming from a animal. We are also animals, we are also mammals, and our mammal peers like cow, buffalo, camel, cat, dog, they are all mammals, right? So these mammals, they give milk, they supply milk to their young ones when they give birth to their child. And these dairy products are meant for a mother to feed her young baby. Even in the process of birthing, this is basically not our natural food, not human food. Our mother gave our food to us when we were babies. So when the baby is born for these animals, they will give the food, they will give the milk. And once the baby comes to a certain age, the milk will stop and they don't give milk. But today, what has happened, it has become very commercialized because we like our coffee, we like our tea, our butter, cheese, and milk, and all of those things, ghee, and all of those things. So, to continue to keep that in our house, we continue to buy those things. And then there is a lot of demand for these. So, there is also a lot of supply. India is the largest exporter of beef in the world. In the world itself, it is the largest exporter. So, which means the consumption of dairy products in India is very, very high. And we also export dairy products as well to neighboring countries. So it is one of the largest manufacturers in the world, exporters in the world. So like that only, we also are consuming a whole lot. But we know that by logic, it is not our food at all. Now, if it is logically not our food, then what is this body doing when we continue to keep feeding on that? We don't have, a body is not like a glass. We don't know what happens inside the body. So technically, what potentially is happening inside our body is we have these microbiomes I told, right? They eat our food and they break down. So we don't have the microbiomes to break down anything that is not our food, which is belonging to another mammal. So technically what happens is when the mother is basically, when the child is in the mother's womb and the mother is ready to deliver that baby, some microbiomes go with the baby in the process of giving birth. Through the skin and all of that, the germs will go inside the baby's body, into their gut. And then those germs are responsible to prepare the baby's gut for the next process, which is solids. That is why, have you seen anybody giving, let's say, ragi or something to a just born baby, or fruits to a just born baby, or even juices to a just born baby? We don't give, right? Why we don't give? Because somewhere our ancestors have told us that don't give, the baby's stomach is not ready and all of that. This is what is the real reason. The reason is those germs that went from the mother to the baby are those kinds of germs which will prepare the baby's gut, because the baby is still not ready for the external influence. That's why only milk is what? This milk is a mixture of protein, sugar, and some amount of fat, which is just meant for that germs, not even the baby. So what, when the mother makes this particular recipe inside her, she knows what germs went into that baby. So she will make exactly one unique dish or unique milk recipe, which is meant only for those germs, not even for the germs of another cow, another calf. It is only for that particular calf, not even another calf that she gave birth, let's say 1 year back. She gave birth today, whatever she gave birth today, only that connection. That's so unique it is. And then those germs, when they feed on that, they will basically, if you've made breads or if you've made any of these fermented products, you might realize that they put sugar inside the for the germs to eat it, bioenzyme for that matter. We put jaggery inside, we put peels and water and jaggery, and then we allow it to rest for some time and to make to make this bioenzyme. So what these germs which are naturally producing inside that liquid will happen is they will feed on that sugar first. They will feed on that jaggery first, and then they will get the energy. Then they will basically become strong enough to break down that peels, lemon peel or orange peel, citrus peels, whatever you use for the bioenzyme. They will be able to break that. So this germ that is inside the baby's stomach also, it doesn't have immediately strength. It doesn't have. It needs to get that strength from the milk. It will continue to feed. First, it will continue to keep feeding, feeding, feeding. Then it will become strong. Then it will start preparing the baby's gut for the solids. Then it will slowly develop teeth. When that process is finished, then the teeth and other things will start coming for the baby. And then we will understand, oh, baby is developing teeth. Now you can give some solid food to the baby. Before the teeth comes, it is the baby's gut is not ready. You can't feed anything except mother's milk at that time. So if you see, so much of science is also involved in us not consuming dairy products. But because there is so much of advertisement, there is so much of availability, demand for dairy is so high that you will not be able to even influence anybody to not use it. And it's not right for you to not influence others, to influence others. You can mind your own business and you will be able to influence the world around you. They say, right? You be the change that you want to see in the world. So if you are taking care of your needs, if you're taking care of your understanding your own body, if you choose a plant-based lifestyle for yourself and do that earnestly and diligently, you will be able to spread those beautiful vibrations to others around you. So this is why you should choose plant-based lifestyle and not go with dairy products. Of course, suddenly when you remove dairy products, what will I do for my coffee? What will I do for my tea? I'm addicted to it. What will I do for my curd? I'm so addicted to it. We all know, yes, they are not our foods, but then there is so much of mind control that the mind has, that we want those foods because we can't live without those foods. But good news is there is so much of information available. There is so much of recipes available on the internet, and there are so many manufacturers available for all these milks and curds and all of that, plant-based milks and curds and all that. Plus, we are going to share with you all these recipes in this workshop. So if you want to do it at home also. So there is no dearth of information that is available today to lead this lifestyle. Like I said, I've been leading this lifestyle since 2012, and I have 2 teenage daughters now, and they have also been raised plant-based. So which means it's not at all difficult. They go to parties, they have not missed out anything. They go to picnics, they go to school picnics, they go to I've sent them to even 1 week of summer camps in a vegetarian place. I've sent them to birthday parties. We go to marriage functions. We go everywhere. But we have the strength of the knowledge of what to pick, what not to pick, how to manage my lifestyle, what can I eat, what I don't want to eat. All of these things we know as knowledge. So where there is knowledge, there is awareness, and then you'll be able to do a lot of better work there. Okay. So milk also, first, so that is about milk. Second thing is, milk today is so commercialized. They come with a lot of, hormones and not, see, when we are eating plants with pesticides, when we have consumed the dairy products, they also have indirectly consumed all of those things. We may probably buy a very nice looking coriander, very nice looking amaranthus sopu, or we may look for a good carrot and all of those things we may buy. But when we look at what the cow is consuming, you don't have control over what the cow is actually being fed. Today, they are fed all kinds of genetically modified food because that is cheap. And so much of soy-based produce, and then all these crops that are very, very, easy to make, easy to produce. They send that to such places. And then there is a lot of medicines given to these cows because they are cooped up in a very, very, in a dairy farm. They are all cooped up in a very small place. And in that small place only, they may not get sunlight. If I'm a mammal and I want sunlight, I want oxygen, I want space around me and all that, I don't want to live in a cramped house with lots of people, like in a chatra kind of thing. So similarly, even they don't want to live like that. But they are voiceless animals. They can't talk. For everything they say only amba amba. Whether they are in pain also amba, whether they are in happiness also, it is only amba. So that kind of lifestyle, they can they'll be taken advantage of. When we were animals in our process of evolution, when in our process of coming to this level of consciousness, we have been those animals. We have basically gone through those highs and lows that animals go through. But karma, where karma comes is that choice. When we may be getting the experiences that we deserve, but we should make that choice to do the right thing, to do things that are at a soul level. That is where we can break or make our karma. We can burn our karmas. So if you make a choice to not depend on animals or whatever it is, that is where you're going to break and then start moving faster. So these animals basically go through a lot of such abuse. Even when you look at it, you can say that yes, they have a soul. The soul has chosen that life, all that we can say. But even if it has chosen that life, even if we are basically seeing that experience, you can choose not to basically contribute to that kind of a abuse. And you don't have to just go and mind. You have to mind your own business, and you don't have to contribute to those kinds of things. So it is very important that to understand that if a mammal has to keep giving milk, they have to keep producing babies. And if they have to keep producing babies, they have to keep becoming pregnant. And who has the patience to keep getting an ox and then going through a natural process of mating and all of that? That doesn't happen at all. So human beings themselves use their hands to deposit the sperms inside the uterus of the cow, which is a very painful process, because nature did not make a hand to get into the cow's behind, right? So it is a very painful process for the cow, and it goes through a lot of that kind of pain. Plus, there is hardly any gap between the delivery of the previous calf and the pregnancy of the next pregnancy process. There is hardly any time. So because of that, the cow goes through a lot of stress inside the body. And what kind of quality of milk you will get from such a cow, right? So I had a client whose child, they said, was lactose intolerant, and they wanted my advice on the plant-based milks. And the child, every time it drank the mother's milk itself, it would basically, her mother's milk itself, it would go to ICU level, NICU level. Body would become blue, and then it would go pass through loose motions and all of that. So they would get it admitted. But they were putting it on formula, so they wanted a break on that. They came to me. I said, it's too young, the baby is too young to even have plant-based milks. I told you about those microbiomes, right? They were still in the process of preparing the gut for the solids. So at that time, even plant-based milks also we can't feed, like coconut milk or almond milk or any kind of milk we can't give, because that germ doesn't have the capacity to break down that. So what is the alternative? They have to continue to be on formula, or if they want something more natural. So we were, when I was thinking about it, I was thinking, see, if nature has provided a baby to any mother, then the nature should have a provision to give the milk also to that baby, no? And it is giving that milk, but why is that milk not being accepted by the baby? Something is wrong with the milk. So when we looked at the mother's diet, she had lots of dairy products and all of those things. So they agreed to remove all that. So we removed all those dairy products. We put her more on fruit, more on vegetable salads, and lots of juices and all of those things. Within 1 week to 10 days, the baby was able, because she found a lot of changes in her own body. She used to feel a lot, some symptoms she used to have. So once she switched over to this lifestyle, her milk quality improved and everything improved. So she wanted to try the baby again. So when she tried this time, the baby did not have any problem. It did not have any loose motions or anything. It basically latched onto that milk, and it was a very nice bond to see between the mother. The parents were very happy. Oh, what is this? The same milk, is now being accepted by the baby. This is like a miracle, all that they said. See, this is what is nature. In nature, if we align with nature, if we understand nature and follow nature, then there are no penalties that we have to face. If we are violating nature and we are going against nature, then there are punishments, penalties, and all of those things. So it is important to understand that these cows are to continue the commercialization process. They are fed a lot of antibiotics to keep them always disease free, and they're fed a lot of hormones. You may be thinking, I'm not even taking any medicines and all of that, but your medicines are definitely coming from all your dairy products. India or any country, I think India, so we manufacture at least 80% of antibiotics in the country get manufactured for the for the cattle or whatever, the dairy industry and all of the farming animals. 80% of antibiotics get manufactured for these animals. 20% only gets manufactured for human consumption in the hospitals and all that. Only 20% is given. All the 80% is manufactured for these animals. And even for that matter, we have so much of hunger and population issues and all of that. All the food that we produce in the agricultural land also gets produced for these animals only, to maintain these animals, because they are very huge and bigger than all of us, right? Their consumption of plant-based foods, because they're all herbivorous creatures, their consumption of food is much, much larger. If they are eating so much of food, so much of plants, then so much of plants have to be produced on a daily basis. And to produce so much of plants, so much of water gets consumed on a daily basis. So because of that, humans also don't get so much of food to eat. So there's so much of imbalance in nature because of the kind of choices we have made, in unnatural choices we make as human beings, being on top of the food chain. So we here can make that choice and say, no, I will eat whatever I have been designed to eat. Let those animals eat whatever they are designed to eat. So when you don't contribute to that, then so much more commercial, so much more manufacturing of that will stop. So much more abuse on that animal will stop. So that you can only make a difference to where your reach is. You can't go say, oh, I'm going to go stop some world hunger or something. It doesn't not work. And even talking about that also will not work. You make a difference in your own life, and then it will go have a cascading effect in subsequently in the world. So always remember that plant-based foods are your foods, in my experience, and your vibrations will start to get better and better and better. In fact, in the earlier days of my practice, I did not even teach spirituality to anybody. I did not do emotional and mental counseling and all of those things. Automatically, their mind and their body, their emotions and everything was getting refined on this diet. And automatically, they only went spiritual. They only found some form of spirituality in their life. They found some other meditations. They found, what do you say, praying to God, whatever it is that they were aligned with. It automatically went to that path. They no longer had hate in their body. They no longer were abusive. They no longer were. Started becoming so pure and pure just by first detoxification started, and then after the body reached a certain level of detoxification, they started seeing all these mental clarity, emotional clarity, and spiritual clarities, and all of those things. Which means we already have an internal GPS to get to that state. All that we have to do is focus on cleaning up our body, making the body cleaner and cleaner, and then not put junk already inside a clean body. So all of these things matter a whole lot. What are the spiritual reasons to basically go on this plant-based lifestyle? Like I said, we are here for experience. So many of us may be in different levels of accepting plant-based as your lifestyle. Plant-based lifestyle is definitely the next level, higher path from depending on animals at various levels. Initially, what happened when in the past, during 1800s, 1700s, 1800s, roughly, it used to be more of non-vegetarian lifestyle is bad. And even in our Puranas or in scriptures and all that, they have never really promoted non-vegetarian food so much. But even before that, when during Rama's period and Krishna's period and all that, they definitely consumed animals. They definitely did a lot of what do you say? They hunted for their food and they ate. At that time, non-vegetarian also was not so bad. It was more of how much of meditative energy they are bringing into their body and how much they are able to get to that state. But over a period of time, since the consciousness started dropping, they understood the importance of how much of vibration, how much of dropping in vibration we are getting because of the animal consumption. So then what happened? They started saying, okay, non-vegetarian is bad, so let's not have non-vegetarian also. Before that, it used to be okay. Why? Because they had other sources of increasing their energy and getting to meditation. They used to do a lot of meditation at that time, 10,000 years, 20,000 years, they used to do meditation. But once they dropped from that state because of duality, then they had to look at other things that are also affecting them. Then food choices also were looked at. Then non-vegetarian also was cut out. Today, we are at a state where we have to understand that even vegetarian food is also affecting us to get to that state, because we are not sitting there for 10,000 years and all of that in meditation, right? We are not, today our Gudakesha master is saying, sit for 3 hours without shaking your body. And how many of us are able to actually sit for 3 hours in meditation? We are not able to sit for 3 hours. Even if we want to sit for 3 hours, something or the other, let's say kids or cooking or something or the maybe work, that is why we are basically blessed to sit in the night and meditate. So whatever it is, we are getting to that stage. And in that stage, we have to see what else is the block, what else is inhibiting us to get to that next level. Then we have to look at dependencies from these animals, which are vibrating at a lower energy. Their foods are vibrating at a lower energy. So I am affected and I am going down in energy levels. So when I cut off all the animal dependencies, I will be depending only on plants which are vibrating at a higher level. So in the path of getting from, okay, non-vegetarian is okay, to non-vegetarian is not okay, to vegetarian is okay, to vegetarian is not okay, to then coming to, let's say, plant-based lifestyle is okay. And then saying, no, in the plant-based lifestyle also, we should not cook and eat. We should not have foods that are very, very complex. Let's say grains are very complex. Processed foods like this namkeens and fried food and all of that is very complex for the body. I will cut down all of those things. I will start to eat, let's say, simple foods like rasam and sambar and let's say some salads and all of those things. Then from there also we will get to one level higher and say, no, I'm going to eat only raw foods. I'm going to eat only fruits and vegetables and all of that. Then from there we'll get to one next level and say, no, I'm going to eat only fruits. And then we'll get to a next level and say, no, I'm not going to eat anything. I'm just going to live on juices. And then they'll say, I will only live on, I'm going to keep meditating and I'm going to live, or I don't have to meditate, or I'm just having little bit meditation. And then I'm still going to live only on water. And I'm going to always be connected to that theta state of vibration. I'm going to be always connected to that oneness state, and cosmic energy is constantly flowing inside me. Then what will happen? I don't have to depend on any food, drink, or anything, because cosmic energy is already healing me. It's keeping me in that state of vibration. So I don't need any food. That only when you're in lower state, you are depending on earthly elements. When you're in higher state, no need to depend on any earthly elements. So that state also will come. But for us to get there, slowly, we should start thinking how to get to that state. If you depend only on food, that also won't work. If you depend on multiple things, you should depend. Okay, I need to focus on the right emotions and keep it higher. Then I need to focus on oneness. And then so there are two aspects. Then let's say I need to focus on plant-based foods and then be efficient. Then I have to focus on, let's say, meditation in the morning. Then I have to focus on adding meditation in the night also. So like this, we have to keep bringing in different aspects to get to that higher state of vibration. There is no one single path to go there. You can bring a combination of paths to get to that state. And how you balance this combination is up to you. But from a food perspective, what I'm trying to tell is, if you choose plant-based lifestyle, and in that only if you choose better and better and better ways of plant-based lifestyle, you will see that reflecting in your own energy levels, and it will start to become better and better. And whatever stage you are in the right stage. You may not even be ready to go plant-based today, even after attending this workshop. You may still say, oh, I'm still getting attracted to coffee and tea. I want to still drink it. I know everything. Yes, cows, and there's so much of cruelty involved. There's absolutely ethically, I'm adding to a lot of karma. All that is fine. I still want my coffee. There are people who will say that also. And there are people who will say, oh my God, I don't want this to happen. I will definitely stop it right now. So we are all in various different stages of our consciousness. And just think that whatever you are, if you are here today, you are here, you are destined to listen to this explanation. You are destined to listen to this swadhyay, and those seeds are getting planted in you, and they will sprout whenever you are ready. So on this path, there is always going from duality to oneness. In this duality, there are always people who will say this is good, that is bad, but there is no good and bad. In every single area or in every single path of our life, we are ultimately looking for that Satchidanand, or that eternal bliss, Anandam, Brahmanandam. That Brahmanandam, we are basically looking for that in everything. We are looking for that in our bisibilevas, we are looking for that in our fruit, we are looking for that when we, in our relationships, when I don't get respect, when let's say somebody talks bad to me, in everything, we are looking for that Brahmanandam state or that happiness state. We are looking for that state only. But we will not get that state in anything. But the journey is to, we are treasure hunting, our lifestyle is to treasure hunt to that state. And in the process of treasure hunting, we are going to sample each of these states in duality, and when you're going to compare, oh, is that Satchidanand state inside this? It is inside this, it is inside that. Once we have sufficiently experienced that state, we will say, okay, it is not in this state. We are not going to experience this again. And then we will tag it as bad. Because only when you tag it as bad in duality, you will not go back to it again. So that is what is called bad. But when you look at it from a Tattva Jnana perspective, when knowledge perspective, Atma Jnana perspective, there is no bad. You had to experience it. It gave you some lessons. It gave you some wisdoms. After you got the wisdom, you moved on. Is that bad? No, you are what you are because of all that wisdom you collected in the various bad stages of your lifestyle. Like you were a mean person, you have probably committed a lot of crimes, you have been very bad, you have probably killed people, you have probably raped people, you've probably stolen from everybody. Lots of things we've done. But all that has given you wisdom and brought you to a stage of understanding, yes, I should not be doing those things, because there is no happiness in all of that. But we definitely experienced trying to see happiness. And that was a lesson that we learned. So like this, we will continue to keep sampling all these things, basically what comes in front of us. And then we will know it is the right thing that is happening to us. Everything that is happening to you is correct. Everything is right thing. So enjoy your life and be aware that yes, I am whatever I'm enjoying today, my soul is basically looking for that happiness state. Once you think that yes, it's not there, then slowly that awareness itself will start detaching you from that place, and you'll be able to hasten that progress towards your path. So like this, friends, we have to move towards a vegetarian lifestyle, and many of us are vegetarians today. It is not wrong, but please understand that someday you will choose to become plant-based, not just in your eating habits. You will probably choose plant-based and not wear leather products. You may be plant-based and not eat honey also, because honey is a little baby bees food, that is. So we may not be doing the right thing by taking away another baby's food. We don't have anything in the plant-based world, is it? We have lots of date syrup. We have maple syrup. Maple syrup is expensive in India. Yeah, date syrup we have jaggery syrup. So many things are there. So we have so much in the plant-based options. So like this, we have to keep progressing, and then over a period of time, get to that state of this, depending only on that prana, only on that pranic state. But when we will get there, we don't know. Whether we will get there in this life itself also, we don't know. But our soul will eventually evolve to that state. But today, whatever knowledge you are getting is a seed that you have to sprout by implementing that, by going through all the ups and downs that this journey is going to give you. But that willingness should be there to learn. And when you are willing to learn, the universe will give you more and more information to make your journey better and better. You cannot say, oh, I can't do this, I cannot. So if you've already taken a decision, I can't, then what will happen? You are closing that door. Today, if you close that door, it's not like you will not experience that door. Tomorrow again, you will get to the door again, because in the next soul plan, you will say, oh, I have not even experienced this, I have to do that. And then again, you'll come back. So like that, everything we have to go through as an experience before we get to that state, friends. So in my experience, I was a vegetarian, and I had a lot of diseases in my own life. Uh, I used to have a lot of cold and cough and those kinds of things, respiratory issues, a lot in my childhood. And over a period of time, I had a lot of fissure problems, constipation problems. That was very high, and urinary tract infections. All of these issues were a lot. And then it went to a very high state, and I had what do you say autoimmune issues like urticaria, which is a skin issue where the entire body bursts in hives. It just, I'll have hives. I used to have hives all over my body with redness and itching and burns and pains and all those things. So um, I used to be on steroids for some time, and then for 2 years I've suffered a lot. After this urticaria came, until then I was very happy with medications. It never healed me, but I did not find that medications did not help me. I kept investing in medications. I kept investing in all of that. That was my level of awareness. And I used to have urticaria, and then I've done steroids. I've done Ayurvedic for 1 year. I've done homeopathy. When I used to take medicines, it used to be okay. Once I quit medicines, I used to go back to the same stage. In fact, even worse. And I have been admitted in the hospital for I was not able to breathe. I was not able to swallow. Asphyxiations. It used to just become like stone cold everywhere. Inside, it used to be inflammation. So I have faced a lot of life-threatening issues, and I've seen death at a very, very close level. And when I quit dairy, when somebody told me that somebody just told me body works like this, when it has a lot of toxins, it will show you all these symptoms. So for that, you just have to give the body that cleansing, and you should quit all the white poisons like dairy, maida, white sugar, medicines, all of that. I quit overnight. I quit because I was already dying anyway. I didn't lose any more by quitting all that. I didn't have any other fear because I had already seen fear. So I was just, my children were 5 years and 8 years, and I had that willingness to live and face things. So somehow at that time I quit everything overnight, and my body was like literally throwing out things like left, right, and center, like Sachin Tendulkar used to throw out everything. And yeah, within 1 year, with just my inner guidance and just depending on whatever thoughts came to me, I just followed the same thoughts, and I healed myself in 1 year. And this is how I started helping my own children in plant-based living. They also had similar issues. So I helped my children, and they also had skin issues and respiratory issues and acid reflux and all of that. They also healed, and I started then helping people on the internet, whoever listened. So many people started seeing a lot of healing. I did not start off as a practitioner. I don't have any background in, I did not do any certifications or anything. I just started helping, and then I did not even go to help them. I just wanted to share my, oh, this is like some unique knowledge I have got, which has healed me. I should not keep it with myself. I should just go share. That was the thought process. And then whoever listened to me, I used to go share. And then if they understood it, I would help them. So like this only, I grew up. My community became very, very huge. So many people from other parts of the world also started contacting me. So like this, I became a proper practitioner. My background is IT. I've been a program manager with Hewlett Packard for about 18 years. And while I was doing that also, I was doing this also. And then I didn't think this is going to be my profession. I used to be a baker also. I was a vegan baker. I used to sell cakes and other things. So lots of things I have done, not knowing that this is my profession. But one point came when the universe gave me a single path to choose. I met with an accident and I had a bone surgery and all that. Then also I didn't take any medicines. I was only on fruits and juices and all that. So this nature's path has basically taught me so much of knowledge, so much of inner strength I have got. I may probably not even, I may probably have trouble trusting somebody, but I will trust my own body more. I will trust the knowledge that is coming from nature more, because that inner dependency is very strong, because that is how I have been trained in this path. So like this, friends, each and every one of you have to connect to your inner voice, and that will happen the more and more you start improving your vibration. The trust and alignment with your body has to happen. There is nothing called right and wrong in this path, but you have to follow your inner guidance. Whatever comes as thoughts, just start following that. Over time, you will see a lot of growth. And for me, plant-based lifestyle definitely came as a path. For you, when it will come as a path, that is your choice. But if you are here today, definitely that is going to be in your potential future. So this is what I wanted to share today. If you have any doubts, you can ask. We'll just take about 10-15 minutes for question and answers. I'm just seeing here, Sunita Tiwari also used Hindi, she said. See, we are going to have the same program in other languages in the upcoming months, but this month it's only for English. And in the other months, we are going to conduct the same program in using translation. So Hindi, Kannada, Telugu, all that will be translated at that time, Sunita Tiwari ji. So आपको जितना भी समझ सके आप समझिए अभी, और उस वक्त तक वेट कीजिए, और उस वक्त तक आपको हमने यही प्रोग्राम पीएमसी हिंदी में भी किया है. आपको आप मुझे ऑफलाइन पिंग कीजिए, या जो भी हिंदी को समझना चाहते हैं आप मैं आपको वो प्लेलिस्ट भेज सकती हूँ. यू कैन फॉलो दैट ऑल्सो एंड फॉलो दिस ऑल्सो, क्योंकि अभी जब हम बात कर रहे हैं ये रियल टाइम है. ये उससे भी पुराना हो चुका है और ये नया है. सो मेरा नॉलेज जो है, आशा जी का नॉलेज जो भी है, वो अभी दैट इज न्यू. whatever we are teaching, whatever we are sharing is definitely newer, and we are see, many of these things are all divine knowledge, and it all comes through some amount of channeling. And what we are able to share with you now is more instant knowledge, but definitely you can access those also, or wait for subsequent Hindi translated information also. That is your choice. Let me just take one person here. Amornath.
Yes. Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Yes, I have a question about egg. Is egg okay to include in this plant-based diet, or
no ma'am, because egg is the period of a chicken, and nature has created that egg for making a baby chicken, baby chick. So why did we start including dairy products, eggs, and non-veg inside our life? There's a history to that. So when we stepped into duality, to experience duality at a point in time of consciousness, what happened was we had to go through that ups and downs, right? So we moved away from our natural habitat, and then at that time all that we knew as animals was to hunt and eat, because we were able to also see other animals in our experience which were hunting and eating. So we mimicked their when we mimicked them, that is where we started eating like them. Even if we don't have claws, we started eating like them. That's how non-vegetarian came. And what advantage they saw when they ate non-vegetarian lives or something is, they were living out in the cold outside, no homes and all. So the body temperature used to increase when they eat all that, because the liver used to get heated up. when the liver was overworking. When the liver was overworking, the body temperature used to get heated up, and they never used to feel so cold when the external environment. So they continue to have meat. And similarly, when the forest fire and other things happened, cooked food was their natural choice because they didn't have raw at that time. So they had to depend on what nature provided. If nature did not provide food, they would just eat whatever was available. So like that, cooked food also happened. And then birds were eating grains. So they just took those and then started to put that in water and then cook it and eat it. So like that, cooked foods, lots of experimentations have happened. But why dairy started happening is, at that time, cows and buffaloes and all were there in the wild. They used to feed their young. It was a very harmless creature. And they used to hold them and keep them with them, because if that baby is feeding on that milk, then even my baby can feed on that milk. That was the choice. It is not poison. So I can safely consume it. And people don't die immediately when they consume all these dairy products, right? So it was okay that they continued to consume. And the amount of consciousness that at that level was not so high to say, oh, is it healthy? It is not healthy. Am I getting calcium? All of that kind of thought process was not there at all. So that is why the dependency on dairy started increasing. And when they kept that with them, they used to consume the milk. The cow used to go outside and then it used to feed on the grass and come back and have, and all of those things. So, and when agriculture started, that was the only fattest and strongest animal they had. They used that for agriculture to plow the land. So there was a lot of connection between dairy products or dairy animals and human beings. They became an integral part of each other's lives. And when you come to chicken and all of that, those chickens were also available in the wild at that time. When they gave the egg, they would again feed anything that was available in nature, because for them, survival was the more important thing. Surviving was more. Today we are not in survival. Today we eat egg only for taste. We drink dairy for taste. We don't have any necessity that, okay, if I don't eat egg, I will die. That was not the case at all. But in the past, that was the case. If they don't eat that egg, they would die because they didn't have food to eat. So today we are not in that state. Plus we have come long back. We've come forward a lot, and our body is not in a state to even accept all those things. We have accumulated a whole lot of toxins with our lifestyle already. So if we depend on these things, we can continue to depend and go through all these problems, lower vibrating diseases. We can go through all that. But do we want to continue to go through all that? Is a choice. If we don't want that path, then we have to be able to say, I will choose higher vibrating foods in my lifestyle. Okay, did I answer your question? Yeah. And plus, whatever happens in the dairy industry in terms of commercialization happens to the chicken also. They are made to become very fat and fed with a lot of hormones that they can't even walk and go feed water, which is probably away there. So it is a very pathetic state. I'm sure we were in that state in the past, which is why we see that in our experience. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, ma'am. Actually, usually people say that eggs are rich in proteins. We should eat that.
Yeah, eggs may be rich in protein, dairy may be rich in protein, but they have a life inside it. No, that protein, you don't have any microbiomes to break it. See, like I said, body has to work on the food. The food cannot work on the body. It may have the best protein, but it is not suitable for your body.
Okay.
Because who makes protein? Who makes protein? Only animals make protein. Plants don't make protein. If a chicken can make protein, if a what do you say, cow can make protein in the dairy products, or if an animal has protein in its own body, we are also animals. We can make protein, right? We can make protein with the food that we are eating. If a cow can make protein in the milk through eating grass and all that, we can make protein by eating fruits and vegetables also. Because amino acids in the plant is what helps the body make the protein. And when you are looking at protein to grow and all of those things, you have to work hard for that. You have to Keep your body agile. You can't lead a sedentary lifestyle and expect the body to grow well. So exercise is an integral part of our lifestyle. So you can't just grow your body through protein. Your kidney will get damaged. Kidney is not going to really like it. So if you have to grow, then you have to eat the foods that are meant for your body, and then you can grow well. Thank you.
Okay.
Viji. After Viji, I'll take questions on the chat.
Yeah, hi Smitha. So
Can you come on video if possible?
one moment.
Because it will help better if I'm able to connect to a space.
Yeah, sure. So I actually have and had like lot of different issues, and later I followed this kind of diet like once, and it gave me a lot of changes in my body. But somehow like I was not able to follow that because we were moving around, trying to settle down somewhere, and then I completely lost touch of that. I wanted to start again, so that's why like I wanted to know more about that before joining. But one thing is that like now I have tried to initiate that a lot of times, but when I do that, I feel a lot of dizziness and like very shaky. I sweat a lot. So, and then instantly my first thought is, do I have to have some carbs? And the moment I have carbs, after 5 minutes it stops. So I don't know how to overcome this.
See what when we eat cooked food or so-called carbs or anything, right? Even fruits have carbs. But then if we look, when our definition of carbs is majorly rice or anything like that, what is actually happening is it is not really, it is suppressing your problem. Those dizziness and all that, it is suppressing that problem. It is diverting the body to go and say, okay, go and digest now. Don't think about dizziness. That is what is happening. But actually, in this particular workshop, we are going to teach you the importance of juicing. So we are 80% liquid bodies, right? So we are not doing anything to maintain that 80% liquid balance. And that 80% liquid balance, when you start trying to maintain in your own lifestyle, all this dizziness and all that will slowly also go off. You will feel a lot more energetic and all of that. People in the previous workshops have actually seen a difference. And they have pinged me offline, and they have told me that, ma'am, this time doing this plant-based lifestyle has been a very, very different experience. So what I am sharing with you, and what Asha also brings, is a more experienced form of sharing. It is not just something that has been written in books. I have not learned from books, and I have not had teachers also. I have definitely, and what I'm sharing is majorly coming from experience. And we have seen a lot of ups and downs in my own lifestyle, my kids and clients who have been with me since 2014 and have worked with a lot of complex cases also. So it's a part and parcel of this, but yeah, bringing the body that natural hydration will automatically take you to that cleaner path. Things will start moving out. Then the dizziness also will slowly get maintained.
Okay, so
just trust this, and then you start following this over a period of time. Maybe you can start from I think in a few days later we will start the suggested diet and all of those things also. So start following those things, and then if you're attending this workshop for the first time, then okay. But otherwise, if you're attending for the second time, third time and all that, you might have already understood in our previous workshops. You might have already started following. So
no, this is my first time.
Yeah, over time you'll get there. Sure.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take some on the chat now. If no vitamin D from sun, then how do we get it? So, Janvika Hinduja, see, it's not like vitamin D is in the sun. If I have, how do you, for example, how do you make a rasam? Right? You make rasam with bringing some tamarind, some water, some rasam powder, some tomato, and all of that mixed together in a container, it becomes rasam, right? Viji, can you please go on mute? Thanks. So like this, sun also is an ingredient, and your body's enzymes are also an ingredient, and your body's condition is also an ingredient. When they come together, your body will be in a position to make vitamin D, provided it is in a clean state. If you are eating a lot of acidic food, whole day you can sit in the sun and your body may not really be able to sustain that vitamin D, or you may not be able to get that vitamin D. So the objective is, so what is our natural diet? First of all, we are fruitarians. We can only eat fruit whole day, but over time we will get there. But in the process of getting there, your D also will start improving in the combination of the sun. Because if you see, fruits and vegetables and all that also have sun's energy inside them. So the more and more you eat that also, right, that will also contribute to making the condition in your body better and better. Then whether the labs show you whether you have less vitamin D, more vitamin D, you will be in a very high energetic state. Then whether you take vitamin D medicines or no, supplements or no, it really doesn't matter, because you're already very happy, very joyful, very clean and all of that. So your objective is to make your experience better and better by following a more plant-based, high raw lifestyle, and slowly, whether you have D or no D, everything will work. That is based on what I have understood. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this wisdom. Thank you, Upinderjit ji. Viji, yeah, I've already answered. San, even plants have pesticides. Does it affect? I think I've already answered that question. Plants, everything has pesticides. So if you're cooking those pesticides in cooked food, then the chemicals basically intensify with cooking. When you're not cooking in raw foods, it is much better than cooking. When everything has pesticides, that is what is the state. But in my experience, very, very few of my customers or clients use organic products. Not everybody can afford organic products. So yes, the vibration of organic products are much higher than non-organic. But since even non-organic is much, their vibrations are higher than what we currently are, you will still see progress. You will still see progress. Okay. So you don't have to worry about pesticides and all that. Just invest in the right vegetables and fruits and all that. You'll be okay. See, if you see, friends, in the past, our grandfathers and grandmothers and all, they didn't see so many fruits and vegetables in the market. They may have to grow it in their fields and farms for them to eat it. Today, transportation and everything has improved so much that every single corner has a vegetable and fruit vendor. At least I'm in Bangalore, I'm able to eat so much of fruits and vegetables. It is because you are able to get access to that. Nature wants you to have it. That's why you're able to see it. If you're seeing it, it means that you have to have it. You may be in a remote village where you don't have anything. That means that your body and your consciousness is still not ready for it. When you are ready for it, when your soul is ready for that experience, then nature will give you that automatically. So today we have that abundance, friends, because we have to use it. So use it well. Most of the doctors told vitamin B is available only from animal products, and it's essential. Won't plant-based food accelerate the deficiency of vitamin B? See, for that matter, where are we getting all this knowledge from? Where is this nutritional deficiency knowledge and all coming from? It is coming from research. It is coming from inputs and outputs that have been given to this physical body, and they've taken some samples and they've done some analysis based on it. Has anybody gone into the physical body? What science has seen today is only just the tip of the iceberg. This human body is so intelligent that we don't even know what it does most of the time. So this vitamin D, protein, vitamin, and all of those carbohydrates, all of those things we did not come with that kind of a user manual when we were born, friends. So just because the nutrition industry has suddenly boomed and then all of this is there in the market, we have Google and all of that, doesn't mean that we have to depend on it. In the past, when your ancestors did not even have any of this knowledge, did they die? Did they die of vitamin D deficiency or something? Nothing like that. They all lived a much healthier lifestyle compared to us. So you don't have to worry about anything. Just invest in what your body can chew and eat, whether it is in summer, you're eating mango, or whether it is in winter, you're having oranges. God or nature has provided everything in those foods, and you have the best foods available in the market. So just keep having. Initially, you might see a lot of detox and all that. You may not feel good. You may feel that your skin is shrinking and you may feel all of that. But as you start following some of the principles and continue to keep that trust in nature, give it few years, 3 years, 4 years, all of that, you'll see so much of progress in your lifestyle. You've lived this lifestyle for 40, 30 years. You can't just eliminate all those problems within 1 year or 6 months and all, right? Give it time. Give it time. At least give it 3 years, 2 years. Over time, you'll see a lot of beautiful, subtle changes. Your eyesight will improve. Your ears will improve. And in fact, you will not even bleed so much when you get a cut. It will not pain also. So many changes I have seen in my life. When I had a bone fracture, I did not even take medicines. I hardly had any pain also. People say bone pain and all is so much when we have fractures. I hardly had any pain. In fact, I slept through, I did not even know. When my hand was dislocated, so I had to go to the hospital. It was a surgery. As soon as I got out of my anesthesia, I have not taken one single medicine. So this body is so divine, friends. And the more we connect to this body, which is what is our journey in meditation also, right? Inwards. We are traveling inwards. We are, in fact, that is what is the journey all about. And this is the first step towards that, is to give the body the right conditions. By thinking that the body is your baby, you are the soul, and this body is your child. It's like your child that you are using to go on this path of soul evolution. So take care of your children, take care of your child. If you are able to take care of your human child, you should be able to take care of your body also, which is your child only. If you don't take care, who will take care, friends? So that is the answer. Vitamin B12, again, it depends on your body's condition, and it does not come from any sources like fruits, vegetables, or anything. But when you make the body conditions cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, then the same fruits, the same vegetables, and the same lifestyle and juices and all that will actually manufacture vitamin D only, vitamin B12 inside your body. Because we are not living in a clean lifestyle, friends. We are not living in a dirt-free lifestyle, and dirt has vitamin B12. Everything that is dirty has vitamin B12, like mud, all of that, sand, and all of that has vitamin B12. So fruits and vegetables have some amount of dirt on them, and washing may not make it go away. But then it's not like you have to put it in vinegar, put it in soda and all that and wash. All that is basically fear-based mentality. The more you remove fear from your life and just give it that surrender-based attitude, you will absolutely be okay. We will talk about some of these emotional growth in the subsequent lifestyles. How to get rid of thyroid problem, we will talk about it in subsequent classes. How much fluids also, we will talk about it. How to get rid of overheat. Yeah, you have to basically bring a lot of hydration inside your body, whatever is the symptom you call as heat. Pigmentation, underweight, varicose veins, everything is lifestyle issues. And then once you start practicing a lot of juicing to keep your body hydrated, once you start having a lot of fruits and all of those things, slowly, everything will balance itself. Before it balances itself, it will clean up. Okay. So you should accept the cleanup before you accept a better and cleaner experience. You have to swim the waters and struggle for some time, allow the body to clean up. So allowing the body to clean up means those discomforts will happen. We took medicines because we don't like discomforts, but in this journey, we need to be able to accept discomforts, and we will help you to understand how to get over those discomforts, help the body, work as an assistant to the body, and clean up the body and get the body to a higher state. Okay, so we have covered everything, all the questions. So tomorrow we will, the chapter that we are going to deal with, or the topic that we are going to deal with, is what are whole foods, what are refined foods, and what is their importance in our body, what are denser foods, and what is their energy levels, what is protein, fat, high fat diets, what are protein based diets, and high vibrating foods, low vibrating foods. All of these things we are going to cover in tomorrow's class. So please do stay tuned for this classes, and thank you for joining today. It has been a great experience having you on this class. Thank you so much for your attendance. Take care. Be blessed.
Thank you so much, madam.
Yeah. Thank you, Lakshmi. You can close the class.
Okay.